Hi, my name's Andre, and before we start the whole Everfree 2019 panel recording, I just want to give a quick shout out to Nimi-chan and Lance and everyone who looked at the horrible fan fictions that were submitted. Of course, horrible in the sense that they were hilariously awful. And of course, a huge shout out to everyone who submitted. There's so many of you, and I promise to do a live stream in the future where I read all of them drunk. So please stay tuned for that. And if it's already happened, well, it'll be on my channel. And with that, let's take a look at A Voice Actor Reads Your Fanfiction live at Everfree Northwest 2019.
As we all know, the fandom is dying, so we're just gonna watch it slowly. Not slowly, but in a fiery blaze of glory. We celebrate. Well, okay, I know. I kind of started us off relatively dark, but no, the fandom is not dying. We're doing quite well for ourselves, actually. This is, from what I heard, probably the best Everfree, ever in terms of attendance. Seriously, guys, yes, exactly, thank you. This is my first ever convention, not this one, but this con specifically in 2015, was my first experience dealing with a lot more nerds than I could handle. Didn't realize there were so many of you, but just put that out there. Alright, so, welcome to A Voice Actor Reads Your Fanfiction live, which is just a euphemism for watching me suffer on stage. So, it's interesting. This is the first family-friendly version of this panel, of course, since fanfiction can be horrible, but we're gonna have some great fun today, guys. We got some great submissions, and oh boy, we got some spicy ones. I don't have my laptop this time, so we have a blank screen you can look at. It's great production value, by the way. It makes everything look very professional. But just a quick intro about myself for those who don't know me. I am Andre Martinez, originally known. I had this dumb fandom name, S Ninja, that I created when I was in 6th grade and carried that through my screen names for what was that? 6, 7, 8 years. And I decided to rebrand because S Ninja was dumb. And speaking of dumb things, we're going to get right into these fics. Did I say enough about myself? I said I'm a voice actor, right? And also forgetful because I'm on a lot of caffeine right now. Yes, I see that glare. Yeah, don't get addicted to caffeine, guys. It's a rough ride. But okay, it's Seattle. All right, fair enough. No, it's the novelty. It's the novelty.
That's no excuse. I don't drink coffee.
That's a brave choice. It's a brave choice. All right. So yeah, voice acting's my main thing. When can we see you? I'm in a few Steam games. I don't know if you guys play Ancestors Legacy. That's my main big gig, and I also have a gig I can't talk about, but that's for another time. So, how this panel works is I read off 6 fanfics in total that were picked from all of the fanfictions that were submitted. Super Trampoline isn't here yet, but he submitted 20 of them. So we had our moderators go through a total 20. Well, actually, no, we just wiped them clean and just picked one. So, yeah, we're gonna start this off. I need to actually pull it up. Keep things going. It's fine. How about those season 9 spoilers? I think that killing off Twilight in episode 5 was a really bold choice, by the way.
Came out of nowhere.
Came out of nowhere, yeah. Pinkie Pie was next in episode 6. This show is, man, they're really following as also Game of Thrones goes out, so,
Also, everyone turned into Applejack.
Yeah, Applejack clones. Hey, I'm not complaining.
All of you are terrible.
More and more like My Little Pony Infinity War.
My Little Pony Infinity War.
There was back the big Infinity War.
I just graduated college, and at the commencement ceremony, some guy, I never figured out who it was, he had not only a Spider-Man costume on, but he had the Infinity Gauntlet, LED lights, and everything. He didn't bring it on stage. I don't know why. He should have done that. Got up. That was weak. Hang on. There we go. Yes. But yeah, a lot of people weren't taking risks because at my university is notorious because some guy on stage at commencement shotgunned a beer, and he got his diploma taken away, and he never graduated. So don't be dumb, kids. That's very bit of a morbid. One that's already morbid intro. David's dying. All right, let's get into this.
That's mine.
All right, so our first one is called "I Will Not Fail" by Raptormon132. This is it's a Star Wars Tempest Shadow crossover. Let's do this. All right. Tempest Shadow stood alone on the balcony of the throne of the castle, the equestrian capital of Canterlot, looking down at the once proud, happy, and majestic royal city, now shrouded in darkness and minor ruin from the recent invasion from her at the Storm King's orders. The Storm King's soldiers enslaved the ponies in the city below, each one bound in chains, and wore large collars with his symbol, with unicorns having magic restrictors locked on their horns and metal rings attached to the pegasi, keeping their wings restrained. All while being guarded by the soldiers, with them also standing guard at all the ways into the ruined city, preventing anyone and anything from ever entering or leaving the captured You could have made this one sentence. Come on, man. For all our writer friends out there, you know, descriptor exposition is a thing.
Should I be taking notes?
Yes. Okay, there's a test at the end of this, by the way. I don't know if y'all do. Take notes. Don't do any of this. And all of this is on the exam. Tempest smiled, admiring the accomplishment of capturing the equestrian capital before she walked inside. Took a paragraph to get there. Walking into the throne room, she moved past the numerous stained glass windows decorated between the recently added Storm King banners around the room, looking at them with admiration. Then close to the center on the left of her stood the forms of 3 Alicorn rulers, Princess Celestia, Luna, and Princess Cadence. Yes, we know these already. All imprisoned in reflective mirror-like stone. She glared with disgrace at her reflection shown on Celestia's form alongside her. All this power wasted on parties, Tempest Shadow said, but there are far greater uses. When invading Camelot, Tempest and her minions acquired the staff of Sacanus. I never actually watched the movie, so there's that.
That was
A powerful, legendary staff that channels the magic of plot, giving one who wields it in great, unlimited power, and sent it to the Storm King. She glared at the frozen Alicorn princesses, for she knew that all but one Alicorn princess was among the collection. Twilight Sparkle, the Princess of Friendship. Her, along with her 5 friends, managed to escape during the invasion not so long ago, just after finding... This was all in the movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Alright, so 3 paragraphs in, we summarized the movie.
Wait, have you not seen the movie?
I've never seen it.
What?
I literally said...
Okay, we're
Watching it tonight, everybody.
Force him to watch it.
It's okay.
Terry Mark wasn't in the movie, was she?
No, I just said they forgot about her in the movie.
Oh. I mean, they forgot about her
Yes.
conveniently.
She wasn't in the series at the time.
Tempest growled as she closed her eyes in frustration. Without the 4th ruler, the staff can't reach its full power. Oh no. I don't know how Grubber sounds, so I'm gonna attempt this. It's gonna be bad. Commander Tempest! Tempest was suddenly interrupted by the voice of Grubber, her bumbling hedgehog side. Oh, I'm just gonna go with Sonic's voice. Calling out where he entered into the throne room from a side door at a fast pace. Grubber stopped and panted out of breath from behind Tempest. Sorry, just a second. Grubber took a moment to catch his breath. All right, I'm fine now. What is it, Grubber? Tempest asked. This had better be important. I know you told me not to disturb you, but the big guy has arrived. Tempest turned to face Grubber. The Storm King? Grubber shook his head. No, not him. He began to talk quietly, almost to a whisper. It's the other big guy, the black masked man, the black cape. Tempest's eyebrows rose with shock. What? Yeah, and it should be coming through. Oh, jeez. The 4th any second now. Rough. Tempest turned her body around and faced towards the main throne room doors. She and Grubber stood there waiting until there was a firm knock on the doors. Grubber began to step away from his commander nervously towards the side of the room. I think maybe I'll let you do the talking.
If it helps, he kind of sounds like Olaf.
Alright, that's fair. Tempest gave her sidekick a sideways glance before facing the door. She stared at her 2 personal storm guards facing her with slight annoyance as she said, well, open the doors. Took you a paragraph. Tempest guards began to open the doors at her command, making a creaking noise, revealing a shadow of a tall figure from what little light that was able to shine into the room in front of her. The figure, mostly concealed by mist, began to move towards Tempest. The sound of its footsteps, along with the eerie sound of mechanical breathing, if anyone's got the soundboard, echoed around the throne room, growing more audible as the figure came closer and closer. There was a cold sensation that filled the room from the figure, colder than the coldest Arctic wind of the coldest winter that even made Tempest feel a small hint of fear since she became the Storm King's second in command. A tall, masked man, which was mentioned at the beginning of the paragraph, dressed in black, walked out of the mist, also mentioned in the paragraph, along with another mentioned in the previous... Masked man then stopped, standing before the pony commander just a few feet away. "Commander Tempest," the masked man said with a deep, menacing, mechanical voice. Tempest bowed her head in respect at the masked man. "Lord Vader."
Yeah.
Darth Vader began to pace around Tempest. "You seem unsettled." "No, just a great amount of things to do in preparation for His Excellency's arrival, my lord." "My apologies." He doesn't apologize. Darth Vader's response to Tempest's reason was sarcasm. Certainly right. "You do have a great many things to explain." The invasion of the Equestrian capital went successfully as planned. We have it under our complete control. I also made my men deliver the staff of...
Sakanas.
Thank you. And that I promised His Excellency. It will channel the magic of the 4 rulers of this land, giving His Excellency the power of 100 armies. Tempest began to feel a small hint of fear as Darth Vader slowly paced closer towards her. I hope he understands its remarkable potential. "Its power that you have claimed is certainly something to behold," Darth Vader said. "If it were not for one of the 4 Alicorn princesses needed to achieve this power would to have not escaped. An oversight on our part, my lord." "Indeed, I am sure." Darth Vader turned, glancing at the frozen forms of Princesses Celestia, Luna, and Cadence, where he slowly walked over to them. "You know the Storm King has no patience for failure, Commander. He would be most displeased with hearing about this oversight by you." He turned towards Grubber, who was close by, making Grubber tremble. "And your minions." "I understand, my lord," Tempest said. "Give me 3 days. I and my soldiers will recapture Princess Twilight and her friends. I will have everything ready for His Excellency's arrival." Oh no, I'm going to have to voice him, aren't I? Darth Vader turned around and faced Tempest. "I hope so, Commander, for your sake. Only the Storm King has the power to make us whole again."
What?
He began pacing closer towards her. "I want you and any men you can spare to go out and find Princess Twilight and her companions. You are free to use any methods necessary, but I want them alive. If you fail, your horn will not be the only thing that will be broken." Tempest nodded resignedly. "Yes, my lord, I will not..." Is that a word, resignedly?
Yeah.
Is now.
Alright, fair enough. "Yes, my lord, I will not fail. I must now report back to the..." Oh, I thought he was going to report to the Emperor. Darn it! "After you bring Princess Twilight and companions back here, I expect you not to rest until you can assure the Storm King that nothing will compromise the staff's power in any way." Darth Vader turned around and began to walk towards the entrance to the throne room. Grubber came to Tempest's side while speaking to Darth Vader. "You sure you don't want to stay a while?" He presented a slice of sponge cake. "We got sponge cake!" Darth Vader suddenly stopped walking and stood near the entrance of the throne room with his back facing Tempest and Grubber. Tempest watched as her bumbling sidekick kept talking. "No sponge cake? Oh well, all the more for me, I guess." Grubber stopped talking, for he had suddenly felt himself unable to breathe due to a feeling in his throat, like an invisible set of hands were crushing his windpipe.
Yes!
He fell to the ground, dropping the sponge cake as it splats on the floor, present tense, all while struggling to breathe. Tempest watched Darth Vader turn around with his arm partly raised, showing that he was forced choking Grubber as he looks at her. "Be careful that your minions do not choke on their gluttony, Commander." Woo! Darth Vader released... Come on, why are you in present tense now? Darth Vader released his force grip on Grubber and walked away out of the throne room, leaving Tempest and Grubber alone, with Grubber gasping on the ground. And just as quickly as he arrived, Darth Vader was gone, leaving behind almost dead silence. Tempest storm guards then closed the throne room doors. Grubber got up, coughing and clearing his throat.
I guess he doesn't like the sponge cake.
Tempest paced away from Grubber. I need all 4 for the staff to work.
Hey, I know. I want the storm team to fix that crazy horn as badly as you do.
Grubber continued to speak, unaware that Tempest was getting greatly annoyed.
It looks like a crackly chipped tooth on the top of your head, and you know I don't look good at that.
What is it even? Oh, you don't look good in hats. That's what that said. Tempest.
It was just as weird in the movie.
Yeah. Tempest snaps and rushed threateningly at. Oh, it's literally snaps. And rushed threateningly at Grubber with her broken horn angrily surging with electricity sparks. That princess is not gonna keep me from getting my horn back. Prepare my shit! Grubber ran out of the throne room again, leaving Tempest by herself once again. Was that? No. I'm losing my mind. What to expect? Once Grubber was gone, she took a deep breath to calm herself. Please, how far could one little pony get on her own? Tempest said to herself. And that's the end, apparently. All right. I was kind of low-key hoping to voice the Emperor, but no, I guess not.
Hey Andre, do you need someone to help voice characters?
Not yet, but we will get there. I know,
I can do a good yak if you need it.
anyone can do a good yak. All yaks are best. Why are we so mean to the yaks? That's the one thing, when I introduced my roommate to My Little Pony, this first comment was, why is everyone racist to the yaks?
Remember the Yona Dumb story we read?
We can't read that one here, but Yona of, well, I mean, kind of. Yona of the Dumb, for those on fanfiction, it's a very,
Beautiful.
beautiful fic. Basically, Rainbow Dash tricks Yona into jumping off a cliff. It's a fun one! Magic and rainbows!
I just looked it up as
It's
9 upvotes. Sorry.
9 upvotes and how many downvotes?
46.
I love it. Beautiful, beautiful. But alas, that's for another con. Our next one has a one-word title.
So it's not mine.
Okay.
It's written by Bach. Brick. Brick. Rainbow Dash scratched her head, unsure of the letter that had arrived at her floating home. Derby had insisted that she read it as soon as possible, and after fumbling through her mailbag and also somehow setting it on fire, the ditzy Pegasus finally delivered the parcel to Dash, saluting on a job okay done, and flying off in a zigzag pattern. It was a letter from Rarity. Though almost impossible to read through the overly elegant cursive, yeah, it was relatable, Dash squinted at the complex squiggles until its meaning became clear. Darling, the mayor stressed me how vitally important it is that I get through your head what the sky is to be like today. To that purpose, I have added an illustration. I now stress to you that it must be done exactly as shown. Ta-ta! Rarity. Rainbow Dash discovered another piece of paper was behind the one containing the letter, and apparently the shape that Rarity wanted her to make in the clouds. Dash didn't really handle weather stuff anymore since becoming a Wonder Bolt, so it usually fell to other ponies to sort the clouds when the mayor was holding some big ceremony. But Rarity was the coordinator of the event this time around, and she'd sneeze bricks if anything was even remotely out of place. Taking out Rarity's drawing, Dash gazed upon it with wizened eyes, making sure to take in every last intricate detail. She shrugged. Well, if that's what she wants, I guess. Keeping the drawing for reference, Dash tossed the letter behind her back and flew out of the front door and into the endless blue skies. As the echoes of her flight echoed into nothing, Tank emerged from Dash's sock drawer and began to eat the letter. Nice. I don't get it! Twilight groaned, slamming her hooves on the table. The cutie map shuddered, its magical display flickering before once again returning to a glitched state. I've done everything! I've tried enchantments, hexes, black magic, pleading, turning it off and on again, but nothing's working! She slammed the table again, hoping more percussive maintenance would work. No matter what I do, I can't fix the cutie map. This thing's bricked. Spike walked into the room, droopy-eyed and holding a cup of hot cocoa in his claws. Twilight, you've been at this for days. You might just want to relax. Twilight craned her head back to the dragon with a frown. Right, because you've been working so hard. He shrugged. Hey, That brick crushed my foot. Doctor says no heavy lifting or hard work for a week. Spike, that was 3 months ago. I want to be careful. She huffed, hopping down from her throne. Well, maybe you're right anyway. Maybe a walk around town would do me some good. Wasn't there a festival today? Spike nodded. Yeah, actually. I think Rarity was put in charge of it. So I guess we have to go. Without another word, Spike sprinted out the door. Winona! Winona sprinted through the apple orchard, mistaking AJ's fury for playfulness. She had taken off the farm's only good shovel, and like any good dog was going, to bury it in a random location and never dig it up again. To and fro she darted through the orchard until the 2 earth ponies chasing after her were finally spent and gasping for air. Dang it, Winona, AJ breathed. You're sleeping on the porch from now on. After sucking in enough air, she looked to her older brother. We need that shovel, and knowing Winona, she's going to hide it in some place we'll never find it. Yep. And we'll have to go into town to get a new one. Yep. Applejack sighed. I swear, Winona just don't listen sometimes. It's like talking to a brick.
There's a lot of bricks in this story.
You think? In the maddening realm of discord, the mad spirit of chaos was playing a friendly game of ogres and oubliettes. Is that actually a word, oubliettes?
Yes.
It's
like a
dungeon well thing.
It's just a well that you
It's-
throw people in.
It's basically solitary confinement for a dungeon.
Copy that. Or at least it started that way. Discord had been nominated by Pinky and Fluttershy as the DM, of course, as usual, but slowly the burden of Gowler, is that it?
Yeah.
Gowler Master was stretching Discord's patience, as neither the Earth Pony nor his best friend seemed particularly interested in following any of the plot threads he was setting up. There you go. Pinky had broken the game several times by accidentally abusing game mechanics. Fluttershy insisted on trying to run away from or befriend every monstrosity they encountered, and they'd spent more time adventuring with the side character in a tavern, rather than the handsome Draconicus rogue that was meant to actually move the plot along.
Oh god.
I rolled to attack, Pinky declared, throwing the dice across the board. Discord slapped a claw to his face. Pinky, you're cake berry and rather with help. You can't attack. Can I attack? Fluttershy asked. No, Fluttershy, you can't because you're still back in the town picking flowers. Pinky hopped up. Oh, I rolled to pick flowers. Discord threw his claws up. That's it, I'm done. Here's what happens. Bricks fall. Every pony is doomed. The ancient evil destroys the world. The end. Hooray! Pinky cheered. I was asleep for Asia the entire time. She grinned evilly. You all fell for my twisted machinations. If we're done, Fluttershy said, maybe we could go into town? Rarity's organizing that festival thing. Yeah, Pinky agreed, sprinting out the front door and phasing back into normal reality. How does she do that? Discord asked. Fluttershy simply gave him that look, almost disappointed he had to ask. By the fates aligning, the elements of harmony all ran into each other in town. With such a convenient sync in their schedules, everyone decided to meet in the town square for the festival, save Rainbow Dash and Rarity, who were already there. Once they gathered in the crowd at the front of the city hall, the saw? Mayor, rise, they saw, there we go. There's a missing Y. Page something or other, 75% in. Where was I?
They saw.
They saw. Mayor, rise up to the podium, clear her throat, and regard the citizens of Ponyville. As in gentle goats, she declared. It is with my great honor and the generosity of a local business pony, Rarity, that we commence the 50th annual... The mayor trailed off, squinting at something in the sky. Is that what I think it is? Dash nodded approvingly at the recognition of her work, but a jab at her sides by Rarity made her realize she'd screwed something up. What? Dash asked. Rarity pointed to the cloud in the sky. Rainbow Dash, what is that? Dash looked up at her handiwork. A giant brick-shaped cloud in the sky. It's a brick, like you asked. I didn't ask for a brick. You did so. I kept the drawing you gave me. Dash produced the drawing she had kept and threw it into Rarity's hooves to prove it. Rarity turned the paper over and showed it to the confident Pegasus. Rainbow Dash, this is what I wanted drawn. That's not a brick. I'm aware of that, Dash, because the drawing you used as a reference was the side that was blank! Realization washed over Dash. Oh, well, easy mistake. They're both rectangles. Everybody? Fluttershy squeaked from the crowd. They all turned to her and then followed her pointed hoof to the cloudy brick in the sky. It had floated right above the town, and to everyone's horror, an actual immense brick was somehow sliding out of the brick cloud. Discord rose from the crowd, clearly enjoying everything, dressed as a weather pony and holding a tiny umbrella over his head. Today's forecast, mildly sunny, light winds. Brick! The brick fell free from the cloud, crushing the town and its inhabitants beneath it. Brick. The end.
There is way too many bricks.
You want me to film you?
Go for it. The more cameras, the merrier. I want to make sure we got as much coverage as possible.
There is way too many bricks in that story. That was the point of it.
There we go. It's okay. I've had classes, so I'm allowed to be out of shape. Alright, also, this is a Brody convention, so. Yeah.
Not like you called out like that.
I know. Alright, so we got 2 fics down. Those were great, by the way.
Sorry, you and I have very different definitions of the term great.
Yeah, that's
You're right, it wasn't great, it was fantastic.
Exactly, thank you. Alright, before we move on, are there any voice acting related questions, things attacking me personally? Anything of that nature? Yes.
Well, I do want to know if you have any tips for anyone thinking of starting out with voice acting.
Yeah, I should have had a preloaded response to this because this is what everyone would be like, what's up, dude? So the biggest thing I would say is definitely take an acting class. A lot of people I encounter who want to get into voice acting are mainly like, oh, I can do British accent, therefore I can start Korean voice acting. Most of what people will be looking for is performance. As long as you are strong as an actor and going out into auditions as an on-camera actor, or stage actor, whatever. Also, a quick tip: if any of you guys are stage actors, is a really decent crossover between the two. Since since people can't see your face emoting, you gotta add the extra emote for the character, whoever you're voicing. But yeah, definitely get on acting classes. If you're already an actor, brilliant, start auditioning. Just go. Because I literally, it's not this phone, but when I first discovered voice acting, I started literally on my phone, and then just kind of went from there. I upgraded to a USB Yeti mic. For those also we're starting out, that's only $150-ish. And now I have a $500 plus setup that I have in my house for broadcast quality and making sure I'm sending out auditions as much as possible, which kind of stops when you get busy with school. Don't do school, kids.
Over and done. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Reword that.
Finish as much school as possible.
Better.
Any further questions before we continue to the next fan fiction? Yes, all the way in the back.
How can you practice voice acting without scaring your neighbors and your family?
You let them know first. I have a great story for this. I was voicing for a cartoon. It was like a Fortnite parody. And there was a part where my roommate and his girlfriend were in the next room. They were just chilling. I'm like, hey guys, I'm about to do some screaming stuff, so I'm not dying, don't worry. And so this is what they told me, by the way. So I went into the booth, and they were just having a nice moment. They're just chilling, just doing whatever. And then they hear just in the background, and they just start they just crack up. They can't take anything seriously anymore. There were a good 10, 12 takes of that. They only told me after the fact. They're yeah, it's a little ridiculous. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is just let people know. And most of all, if you're an actor, don't have shame.
No shame.
No shame.
No shame.
No shame. All right, our next
I need to get on that one though.
fiction is by Moonbutters, or submitted by Moonbutters. A British edition. Go! pickles and milk. Alright. Oh, are these OCs? Oh dear. Oh dear. Honey! Actually, no, I had a request for Rick and Morty last time, so I'm just gonna do that now, because I didn't do it last time, so we're gonna assign characters for Rick and Morty. Okay. Honey! A voice called out, specifically the voice of Blue Tea, Spade's Duck's wife. She was a big blue unicorn and 10 months pregnant, which you would already know if you read the description, which I didn't. Of course, she wasn't normally that big, but within the next few months, she would be giving birth to quintuplets. Rough. Ow. Yes, dear. And again, I'm not going to do Rick and Morty. That was a bad idea. Yes, dear, answered Spade's Duck, who was sitting right next to his pregante wife in the living room. Spade's Duck was a light green earth pony with a black mane, which was currently in a state of bedhead. Same. There was a loud knock on the door, but Spade's Duck ignored it for reasons which I shall reveal shortly. Honey, I need pickles and milk! Are you sure, dear? Yesterday you wanted, quote, the flesh of the unborn, unquote, which was actually eggs and ketchup, replied Spades, ignoring the repeated banging coming from both the front and back doors now. Please, honey, if I don't get pickles and milk, I think I might die! Spades sighed. Are you sure it can't wait? Please! Screamed Blue Tea. Her pregnancy was affecting her hearing, much to Spade's dismay. All right, dear, said Spades defeatedly, getting up from his chair. Don't let anyone in while I'm gone. Love you! Roared Blue Tea, leaning down to give Spades a kiss and a bone-crushing hug. Waving goodbye to his wife, Spades grabbed his saddlebags from by the front door and went to a window. The banging on the doors continued. Spades opened the window and hopped out, making sure to close it behind him. He turned from the window to look out upon the neighborhood, which was currently overrun by changelings. What? Spades then proceeded to say a word that I can't print here without changing the audience from everyone to at least teen. While Spades stared at all the changelings, the bushel of changelings that had been assaulting the door to his house noticed him. Now, Spade's Duck was in fact aware of the changeling invasion, but not because he read the description. I mean, if you were to hear a knock at your door and you look at the people and see your neighbor, you're about to open the door, but then your neighbor is hit by a frying pan thrown from Celestia knows where, and suddenly he or she is not your neighbor, but instead is a black bug pony with fangs and a murderous look in their eyes. You would probably not open the door. Probably. Spades did not open the door, which you could probably tell, even though it wasn't in the description. Anyway, Spades noticed the changelings that had been at his door when they were a pony's length away, leaping at him with fangs bared. Quick as a whip, Spades pulled his Acme Husbando sword. Yours for only 3 easy payments of $19.95. Call now and you could get not 1, not 2, but 3 Acme Husbando swords for the price of 1 from his saddlebags. The leaping changelings attempted to reverse direction, which is really hard when you're mid-leap, and thus they impaled themselves on the Acme Husbando sword. Whoops, said Spades around the Acme Husbando sword that he held in his mouth. Spades had not meant to kill the changelings with the Acme Husbando sword, but there wasn't much he could do now with 3 dead changelings skewered at the end of it. He shook the Acme Husbando sword gently, causing the 3 dead bug ponies to slide off into the front yard. After wiping the changeling blood off of one of the many lawn gnomes that adorned the garden, Spades put his Acme Husbando sword, they'll sue me if I don't use the full name, back into his saddlebags. Now, started Spades Duck, walking out into the street, where can I get pickles and milk? Oh no, this next part is so much better with this music, with a shady link. Oh no, The 40 or so changelings that surrounded him didn't care about pickles and milk. Not because they didn't know what pickles and milk were, but because they'd rather feast on Spades' love than answer his question. The changelings stared at Spades. Spades stared back at the changelings. So, it has come to this, he said, drawing his Acme Husbando sword. Come to what? Asked a changeling in the crowd that surrounded Spades Duck. You, me, this moment, replied Spades, turning in a slow circle. What? Asked another changeling. Spades didn't answer with words, but with his Acme Husbando sword, beheading like 10 changelings in one fell swoop. Attack! Yelled the changeling just before his front legs were forcibly removed from his body. Another changeling attempted to blast Spades with his weird magic, but whatever spell he was readying was literally cut short as his horn was lopped off by Spades' Acme Husbando sword. In anger, the changeling went to kick Spades, but his legs were lopped off by the Acme Husbando sword as well. Green changeling juice flowed like an real mature writer. Exceptionally runny case of diarrhea on the road as Spades cut and slashed his way down the street. Eventually, the changelings gave up on trying to attack the determined Earth Pony, mostly because Never Gonna Give You Up should be about over by now, and if it isn't, you must be reading too fast. Stop it! Still, there were other changelings that hadn't seen the carnage and thus would attack Spades on sight, so he stuck to the bushes and shadows around at Canterlot as he headed towards the 812 corner store, which used to be a 7-Eleven, but due to a visit from an extra-dimensional entity who wanted a big gulp, time in the store was a little slow, and the 7-Eleven franchise wanted nothing to do with that crap, so they separated, and now the store is an 812. While on his way there, Spades thought he saw a platoon of lunar guards carrying a sleeping Princess Luna through an alley, but he found the notion too absurd to believe that it wasn't another changeling trick, even though it was actually Princess Luna snoring away as the changelings invaded Camelot. Yeah, that's where Luna was. So Spades continued on his way to the store, only having to behead like 2 changelings on his way there. To his dismay, the 812 was dark, the closed sign was up, and the door was locked. A solid back kick to the lock solved one of those problems, and Spades' Acme Earth Pony headlamp with built-in hyper laser nightlight bright technology solved another. After glipping, the close to open, flipping, that was the word. Good job. All 3 problems were solved, and Spades gained enough XP to level up to level 36, where he put a few points into intelligence and strength. Good choice. And added the skill Swordplay X. Or 10, depending on how you read it. Spades Duck entered the store and headed to the back where the milk usually was, but he stopped about halfway when he heard a squishing, smacking sound coming from the chips aisle. Apparently he didn't put enough points into his intelligence stat because he decided to check it out. Instead of what should have been a scary goo monster, Spades' Acme Earth Pony headlamp with built-in hyper laser night light bright technology illuminated Celestia's old student Twilight Sparkle, who was currently snogging an orange Pegasus with a blue mane. The Pegasus's name was Flash Sentry, which all y'all might know, but Spades did not know. Unfortunately, we do. Spades also did not know when Twilight got wings and became a freaking alicorn. When was this written? So Spades stood there in a shocked silence until Twilight noticed there was a light, specifically the light of an Acme Earth Pony headlamp with a built-in hyper laser nightlight bright technology that was very much illuminating her and her cult friend, and then stopped snogging Flash for a moment to first apologize to Spades, and then another moment to time travel a bit further back so she and Flash could have some privacy for their snogging marathon, which continued on for another 3 hours on a grassy hill in the distant past.
Almost as long as that sentence.
Exactly. Spades shrugged it off as another changeling trick, even though you and I both know that it wasn't, and continued to, how do we know? It could be you just didn't mention. It's not we're omniscient, right? And anyway.
It's like an anti-Shyamalan.
It's an anti-Shyamalan, I like that. Where he put 2 gallons of milk into his saddlebags before going back to the aisle before the chip and snogging Twilight aisle to grab 3 jars of dill pickles. He brought it all to the front counter and left a pile of bits there to pay for the milk, pickles, and broken lock. You could just steal it and not spend the money, but, it's just my humble opinion. And then Spades was on his way back home to his waiting pregante wife. Lucky for Spades, he had a little trouble finding his way back to his house without running into any changelings. More changeling fights. It was almost like they had been called away or something, which they had, as Queen Chrissy wanted to utterly destroy the main 6, and so she sent every changeling she could get to kill them. Of course, not all went. Spades Duck found his street to be suspiciously empty. His footsteps echoed from the alcoves of the houses he passed. When he got to his own house, he gasped as the front door was gone. I don't mean gone as in blasted away. I mean gone as in someone unscrewed my front door and stole it like a jerk. Quietly, he entered the house and tried to shut the door behind him, but there was no door to shut. He called out, "Honey Bunches, are you in here?" He waited a few seconds, and then he heard the reply, "Yes, dear, I'm in the living room." The lack of ear-bleeding screaming made Spades suspicious. "Honey," he started, heading towards the living room, "I forgot what you asked me to go get. Also, the door is gone. I don't mean gone as in blasted away. I mean gone as in somebody unscrewed my front door and stole it like a jerk. You haven't seen the door, have you?" "No, dear," said the voice from the living room. "I hadn't seen the door, and I think I sent you for The voice paused. For your medication?
Yes, thank you, honey. Now, would you be a dear and come give me my medicine?
Of course, replied Spades, drawing his Acme husbando sword. I'll be just a moment.
Do hurry,
said the voice who was not his wife's but sounds like his wife's from the living room. Here's your meds, yelled Spades, although around the Acme husbando sword in his mouth it sounded more like which wasn't as cool, but since this is my story, y'all get to know what Spades really said because it sounds a whole lot cooler than Spades ducked, threw his Acme husbando sword through the wall and skewered the changeling who was pretending to be his wife. Your medicine is death, said Spades, duck, removing his Acme husbando sword from the corpse of the changeling. Right? Yeah, if only Princess Deadpool was here, alas. But when Spades Duck went to ungag his wife, she transformed into the very evil changeling queen. Queen Kissy Lips, the twin of Queen Chrysalis. You know, the twin we totally neglected to mention, but, just brought up for the sake of the fun. Okay, whatever. Spades remained unfazed. My old nemesis! Where's my wife, foul beast? Kissy Lips was having none of that crap. Boy, you better show me some respect, because I got a can here, and it's a can of beans? Darn, it was supposed to be a can of butt whipping, but beans will have to do, because this is a PG panel. Thank you, author.
I have a censor button if you need it.
She threw the can of beans at Spades, but it missed. So she picked it up again in her magic and threw it at Spades a second time. The second time, although a lot closer, was also a miss. Please get a better roll on your D20. Come on, man. Third time is charm, said Kissy Lips as she threw the can for a third time. And this time it actually hit Spades, mostly because it was less of a throw and more of a drop. The can did not hurt Spades because it wasn't a can of butt whooping. So, there you go. Then Kissy Lips really attacked. She opened with a hellish green beam of magic that was really, really green. Like, so green, you can't even. Spades avoided the devastating blast by teleporting behind Kissy Lips. I'm sorry, I had to do this. How the heck? You're not a unicorn. How did you teleport? Yelled Kissy Lips, spinning around. Whoops, I forgot he was an earth pony. Too late now, I guess. Thank you, author. Consistency.
How much of this is you commentating and how much of this is actually written down?
About like 75-25. I don't know, replied Spades. You just freaking teleported! It wasn't that bad of a slip, really. Yes, it was, author. Stop it. I know, but I don't know how. What do you mean you don't know how? Asked Blue Tea loudly from her spot beneath the stairwell. She could now speak because she ate her gag. And the changeling that was supposed to be guarding her, it seems. Oh. Blue, you're okay! Why wouldn't I be? Kissy Lips' face hooked and sighed deeply. Man, I thought you were dead, Blue. Honey, it's okay. Now, did I just hear you teleported? Yes, he did. Right behind me, too. I did not ask you, you stupid changeling. Sorry. Apparently, I did teleport. Why can't they just drop it? And that's also the author saying that. How odd. Yes, how odd. How odd they just sit there and there's no epic fighting. Gah! So, started Spades, drawing his Acme husbando sword. Never mind, he didn't draw it. I was just being hopeful. So, what? Asked Kissy Lips. You gagged my wife. You teleported. Actually, this changeling gagged me! Interrupted Blue Tea, rolling over to reveal a flattened changeling. Guess she didn't eat him. You killed Stanley! Cried Kissy Lips. Nah, he's just flat. Stanley waves. What am I gonna do with a flat changeling? Spade spoke up. You could use him as a kite. Paging starlight glimmer. There was a flash from a corner which was ignored by everyone as it was only Twilight and Flash kissing up a storm. A literal storm. Like, there was like little flashes of lightning and tiny booms of thunder from this QT Blackest Death mini-storm hovering a little to the left of the kissing couple. Why would I want a living kite? Why not? That's a good question. Bluey is very smart. That's why she's a top-notch surgeon? Interjected Spades. Among other things! The three fell silent until Kissy Lips couldn't take it. So I looked around the house a little, and I was kind of wondering about the ducks in the shed. Spades spoke up happily. What about them? Why so many ducks, and what's in the shed? Don't go in the shed. That's rule number 1. I like ducks and shovels. Shovels.
Yes! Spatsy loves the shovels.
Are we talking like 3 shovels or what? No, said Spades with a chuckle. Maybe like 80 or so. 80 shovels. Give or take a few. 80. Yes. Shovels. Thunder rumbled from the mini cloud, covering up the sounds of smooching because who wants to hear that?
Yes, shovels, it's in his name for Celestia's sake.
Fine.
Now ask about the ducks.
What if I don't want to ask about the ducks?
You want to.
No, I
213.
I told you that I didn't want to. 213 ducks. Yep.
Yes.
You know what? What?
What?
I don't know. And with that, Kissy Lips teleported out of the basement. Thank God. Oh, Celestia. Aren't the same thing.
I thought she would be worse.
She impersonated you.
Ponies have done worse to me.
Flat Stanley
I just got that reference.
spoke up from the floor.
Like how worse?
This question confused Spades and Blue. It did not confuse Twilight and Flash because they were not listening. The tiny cloud began to rain.
What do you mean, flat changeling?
That's horrible!
I know! He'd never let me win!
Let you win? A gust of wind from the mini-storm flipped Stanley over. Oh, can't see! He struggled on the ground for a bit until Spades flipped him back over. Thanks. So what do you mean he never let you win?
At chess, of course!
Oh. Spades wasn't paying any attention as he had just noticed the Snoggers and their cloud, which was now hailing. What is going on? The cloud was hailing, not Twilight and Flash. There was no confusion there. So, Spades, was it? Spades duck. Spades, did you actually teleport? Not this again. Apparently, same. Stanley attempted to do the worm. It turned out he was very good at it.
Spatsy!
Yes, darling?
Do you have my pickles?
And your milk, darling. All was well. This time around, Blue actually took her time eating the pickles and drinking the milk. Kissy Lips got really drunk while thinking about the teleporting Earth Pony and fell off a cliff as a result. The thingy at the wedding happened, blasting all changelings away except Stanley because he was too good at the worm to be blasted. The can of beans was open to be eaten for dinner that night, but instead a fist came out of it and clocked Spades good. Thank you. Apparently the can of butt whooping was mislabeled. Twilight and Flash teleported away eventually, although the mini-storm remains to this day. Blue eventually gave birth to two beautiful foals, one horrendously ugly foal, and an ogre. The doctor explained the ogre away as these things happen. The ogre was named Shrek. Stanley hangs on the wall in Spade's living room by choice. Shrek loves it when he does the worm. The end.
Can I do it again?
Are you allowed to say who wrote that?
I think there is like a much longer version apparently. It's sent by Moonbutters. If anyone knows Moonbutters, the full story gives me a fanfiction link. That is written by Moonbutters. The title is Pickles and Milk, and oh my gosh, that cover art! If you look at it, if you pull it up on your phone, it's like a picture of pony drawn in MS Paint. I love it. I love it. Oh gosh. Ooh, 102. You know, we're running out of time, unfortunately. I was expecting to have more, but I guess because originally we had 1,000 words be the goal, but I guess we kind of, once I bumped it up to 1,500, I guess it kind of, darn it. Okay, so we're going to read Princess Luna and Scootaloo are on fire next, but I'll take a few more questions if there are any in the audience. I'm just going to close.
The video's still running?
Video's still running, yeah, we're all good.
I guarantee I'm going to think of something.
Think of any questions, any conundrums, any, troubles, problems, conundrums, or anything that's a good friend that can help you solve? Yes.
Do you have a hard time getting, not blending your accents or, forgetting which accent you were doing for which character,
All the time. A lot of it has to do with, accidentally reading lines that are someone else's, or, for example, I started with a Russian accent, and by the end of the reading, I was in a Scottish accent, so things kind of change. Also fun with accents as well is that when you're practicing them a lot, you have to do it all day to prepare for it, and I did not prepare for this, but I'm just rolling it out because I can show off. But it gets stuck, and it's a problem, and it happens. It happens for real. But no, you can fool people into being British, and then British people can call you out. If Isle Monty was here, I would drive her up a wall, but of course she is not here because she has standards. Right. Oh gosh. Let's see here. I'll do this one in a British accent then, just for funsies. Scootaloo and Luna are on fire. Any further questions before I start? Any? Yes.
What's the cover art for this one?
It's a picture of Rarity as a kangaroo and Sweetie Belle's in a pouch.
This is a super trampoline thing, isn't it?
It is. It's
It sounds chaotic.
Yes. Yes, it does.
That's what he writes.
All right.
I have a question.
What's up?
Do you want to borrow this?
If you could hear. If you could hear. Mother. Come on. Come on. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
You broke it.
There it goes.
How does... Is it only sensitive to your touch? Yeah. It's either to you. It knows you better.
I'll do it for you.
Okay. Chapter 1. Scootaloo is on fire! Oh no, that is not good. Most things when they burn tend to die. We do not want Scootaloo to die. So most of us don't. If Scootaloo dies, that would be bad. What would Sweetie Belle and Bloom think? I don't know. Let's not find out. Let us go find water to put Scootaloo out. This is in second person, isn't it? Let us put Scootaloo out to get the fire off of her. To get her off of the fire. To get her no longer aflame. Oh no! Luna is also on fire, which is strange because she is the moon, not the sun. How can the goddess of the moon be aflame? But it is true. Any pony can be on fire, even Luna. Let us find water to put Luna out as well. Oh look! We did it! Dear Rita, look! Luna is no longer on fire, and Luna is thankful. She delivers a kiss to me and a kiss to you. How lucky we are. Oh, how many bronies wish they were in our position, that we might also be kissed chastely upon the cheek by a magic horse. Oh my goodness, this was perfect. Luna declares March 16th, National Don't Be on Fire Day. It is a huge hit. School fillies and colts all over the land of Equestria decide to not to be on fire. It is a great success, as almost no pony is on fire. Unfortunately, there are still 20 ponies on fire, but it is still less than the usual 23 ponies who are on fire. I pity those ponies who are on fire. Really, I feel bad for them. And what about dear Scootaloo? What happened to her? Scootaloo discovers that she can now fly thanks to burn marks on her wings. The burn marks on her wings act like jets, and she can fly throughout the land. She can fly, 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 as free as a bird in the springtime. How free? Extremely free. Go, Scootaloo, go and fly freely, so happy to at last be free. Scootaloo is no longer constrained by the ground, but can fly throughout the land, and so she does. She flies throughout the sky, she flies throughout the universe, oh so high, and she flies among the stars. But what does she discover? Who knows? She becomes like a god and reigns supreme. Long live Scootaloo! Long live Scootaloo! So then, dear reader, let us draw a lesson from this. Let us all take this to heart and know that even though things can be dark and lonely, they can become, in time, bright and friendly. On Luna's first Don't Be on Fire day, a young colt comes up to Luna and says, Luna, my mommy beats me every day and sometimes takes a salsa pad and whacks my head with it. Please make it stop. Please make the nightmares and the screams go away. What's the... Luna says okay. Luna sneaks into the colt's house and kidnaps his mom and arranges for a public execution. Drawing and quartering. Is that the new punishment for child abuse? Gosh, I hope not. Dear reader, let us look in the Equestrian Penal Code. Several days pass. Dear reader, the Equestrian Penal Code is quite boring, so I won't give you all the details, but suffice it to say that one should not be executed in a gruesome manner for child abuse, although one should definitely be punished. We need to hold independent investigation, not just take the word of this kid. Dear reader, I will go tell Luna this is so she knows not to kill this mare. Okay, it didn't go so well. Now I'm in jail. Luckily, they gave me a typewriter so I can type stuff. I did not realize Equestria was so non-democratic. I better be careful with my words, or else they may take away my typewriter and stop beating me. Dear Rita, it is up to you now. Go and stop this mayor's execution. It will happen on March 21st in the Canterlot Grand Public Square. You can do this. Also, I should talk to this kid and see what's up and make sure he's not lying or anything. Not that child abuse is ever remotely okay, but we should really use more than just a kid's testimony as to whether to kill someone in a gruesomely public manner. Well, were you successful in stopping the execution? Were you successful in bringing Luna to reason? Click on the appropriate option to go to the next chapter. They're all the same link. They're all the same bloody link. So we can either say, yes, I was successful. Turns out the kid was just lonely and wanted some attention. Yes, I was successful. Turns out the kid was telling the truth, but drawing and quartering is going too far. No, I wasn't successful. Turns out the kid was just lonely and wanted some attention, and now his mom's guts are spread all over the Canterlot Grand Public Square. Frick. No, I wasn't successful. Turns out the kid was telling the truth, but drawing and quartering was too much. So we press one of these options. Let's bring me to the top. No, just bring me to the next chapter. What? I screwed up your links.
Oh, it's because this was the E-rated version, so it's trying to take you to the teen-rated version. Just click on the next chapter.
Yeah, I just click on the next chapter, yep. It is late in the day, and you find yourself sitting upon a cloud next to Scootaloo. So, she says, I hear this whole execution business got you pretty messed up. Sorry about all that. Yes, well, you say, sometimes these things happen. I'm glad you could hang out today and get my mind off of it. Yeah, no worries, she replies, and with that she smiles, and it's such a beautiful smile you get lost in it for a moment. Before remembering that she is 17 and you are 31, and even though the age of consent in Equestria is 16, you are really in very different places in your life right now, so you're probably getting lost in it. Smile too much. You sigh. Guess I should get back to work in the salt mines then, eh? I've got quotas to meet and a young girl to feed. Yeah, Scootaloo says, and I don't want to keep you from that. You should get back to that. But remember, you did a good thing today. Don't forget that. Okay, I won't, you say, and with that you spread your wings and dive off the cloud into the sunset below, ready to start another night of mining salt. The world isn't always perfect, but it can be beautiful.
This character was a Pegasus the whole time?
I don't know. You were Pegasus this entire time!
Were there any pictures in that?
Author's note. There's a picture, there's a gif of Scootaloo strumming a bass guitar, and the caption is, and the beat goes on. That's all I got.
Well, that was a beautiful story.
It was.
One all day?
Oh gosh. Alright, we have 4 minutes left for some questions. Yes.
No, I was just stretching.
Yeah, we're ending it right now. No. Alright, any further conundrums? Anything I could possibly solve? I also have tangents I could go off of that I had listed off, because I have ideas that I wanted to write down and be like, hey, I can be somewhat interesting.
This is why I always keep a notebook with me.
Notebooks! Or notes on your phone, which is really convenient. Yes?
You've read Fanfics before, right?
Oh, yeah.
What's the worst one?
The worst one. Oh, this is a Barcast favorite. But the tale, was it either the tale or the adventures of Shadowbolt. Guys, if you ever want to see a Mary Sue in action of an edgy, like, black and red alicorn, you read that fic. The other one, there's another one, I can't remember what it was. It was another, I love, the self-insert ones are always the worst.
Yeah.
Prince Martin Willis. That's all I'm going to say for now. But that one is a trip and a half. Holy heck. If you want to see bad spelling, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Huh?
Prince Martin
Willis. But yeah, I mean, you know, at the same time, here's a bit of a tangent. I also had written down. When I first came, I think it was day 1, I was sitting in the lobby. And I was sitting, like one of those armchairs. I was sitting there waiting for somebody, and then there were 2 people next to me, and then this brony comes up. And I don't even know if these 2 guys are actually at the convention or not. So this brony comes up, and these 2 guys are just talking, they're going on whatever, and then this brony suddenly blurts out what am I dressed up as? And I'm like, oh no. And the guys next to me, oh no, we were just talking. And then there's just this very awkward silence. And then this brony starts going off about his Transformers XML POC, and talks about like all the DeviantArt stuff, and I was
I saw that.
I'm going to consider myself very lucky that I have absolutely.
So I used my acting skills and yeeted myself out of there as fast as I could. But no, there's a happy ending to the story. Because I walked past and then like I walked past, like I was just curious if the guy was still there, and he was like, he had prints of these like Transformers and MLPOCs and stuff. But also, what was kind of beautiful is that, yes, I know, at the end of the day, I saw the same guy in a line showing the same art to people who were like super stoked about it. Like, seriously, this guy was able to find friends at this convention, was able to find people he fit in with, and people he could just enjoy the fandom with. So I think that I just wanted to end it on that kind of note, where this everything just really brings people together in the best kind of ways.
Would you say that friendship is magic?
Yes, I would. I would say friendship is magic. How many more minutes do I got? Like maybe one or two? One? Who's got like a last minute? Who's got a last minute burning question?
I'll probably think of something at the next one.
Yeah, you can always talk to me after. I'm around. What's up?
You ever read My Little Unicorn Believing is Magic?
Send that to me. I'm on Twitter, Andre Luke Martins. That's ANDRELUC Martin Z. Andre Luke Martins. It's on Fanfiction?
Yes.
What was it called again?
My Little Unicorn Believing is Magic.
You can also send it to me and I can send it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Believing is magic.
Believing is magic.
Believing in imagination. Believing.
It has a TV tropes page.
What?
Yeah,
it has a TV.
I googled it. It has a TV tropes page.
I need to do an audio drama of this. We're going full throttle on this one.
Also, they misspelled believing.
Well, that sucks for them. Sucks for them that the mods can't spell for. Come on, give me the button. Give me the button. The mods can't spell for. Thank you. I should have had one of those, but no, I was reading off this guy because I didn't bring my laptop. All right. But yeah, like I said, you can check me out on Twitter or YouTube. Those are like my two main hubs. On my YouTube, I do like readings and stuff, audio dramas. I am like doing more of a thing where like I will record my face in my studio. So there's also that if you want to watch my dumb face, read fanfics, and also I do have other voice actors come and voice other characters, so that's always fun. Andre Luke Martinez, find me on YouTube. You should find the spelling of my name in the con book. Because I know people, is it Luke spelled L-U-K-E? No, it's just the French spelling. So there you go. Anything last minute before we conclude this panel?
It's 1:16.
It's 1:16. Well, there you go. Go forth, enjoy your con, guys. Thank you so much for coming. It was seriously an honor. Snaps all around. Thank you. All right, get out of here. Oh.
If I may ask, is the recording going to be on YouTube later?
Yes, it will be.
Yes!
Absolutely. I recorded mine.